Well, after a rough start of the week, everything seems to be going down, but ended up pretty nicely for the end of the week. So, do I care whether it came up or went down? It should not. So, basically, if you are thinking of um, playing the market direction, that's wrong, right? So, we never know what's going to happen next day. Go play with it as on a day by day basis. So it went down. I had to sell a bunch of my positions because it broke down from my 3 day 3 day high low structure, and I had to get out of my positions. So you can see in here, first day of the week, like 11-12% down. So but I had sold a lot of positions. But I got the opportunity to get into some new positions in here. So let's take a look at why I got in. Right. So Costco, there was a earning, a gap up, and then it started rallying over the day. So the good point. This is a good point to get in, and I got in this year. So it kept rallying. So we never know, right? So it goes up in here, may come down, but as long as it stays up above the gap up point, I'm going to hold it, or I'm going to move this 3 day low, and if it breaks down 3 day low, maybe I'll get out of it. So Lulu, I was watching this. It had a huge gap up the day of the earnings, then but it started going down the day of the earnings. So I waited on it. So it went sideways for a few days. So it came up to the point of the highest of that gap up in there. So I got in somewhere in here, and it started going down. But in any case, always looking for an entry, good entry point. On earnings is a good point. Huge gap up sideways. It gives me a lot of strength, shows me a lot of strength in this stock, and it's trying to move up in here. So that is where this is my 3 day low, 3 day high here. So put my bar at the 3 day low. As it moves up, I'll keep on pushing this up. But if it goes down, anywhere between the 3 day low and this the 20 day average, I will cut my losses if it goes down there. Uber, there was no earnings. Earnings was way back in here, right? And it still kept on going down. So, but some news, there's a huge gap up in here. So always you can see in here an entry at a gap up and move high, or gap up and I wait for it to go sideways and then move up in here, right? So gap up, and I didn't have the conviction right away. I thought it was going to come down, went sideways. So this is a good point for me to get in somewhere in here. And again, it moved higher on the last day, right? So this is good. Let's take a look at Adobe and FedEx, right? So Adobe earnings, huge gap down, went sideways. So I thought, okay, maybe have a couple of positions. And the market was going down as well, right? So a couple of positions on the put side. So it went up, still hanging around there. This is a 3 day high, 3 day low. I put my bar on the 3 day high, but I think it'll rapidly come in here. So, and if it crosses above, then I'll cut my losses there. Same with FedEx. So huge gap down, still kept going down in here, bought somewhere in here, still going down. All right, so this is my 3 day high in here. So next week probably this one, this line would drop somewhere on this one, at this point, and if it goes above it, I'll cut my losses. So those are my positions. Take a look at how it stacks up with my uh, calculation here, right? So Costco bought here at 194 Now what is this? This is basically if I go with a long position, I also counter that with a short position, or sell or a covered call basically. So it gives me a little bit of cheaper entry, and if it still stays under this strike price of 480, I can still bag uh, the selling price. But if it goes beyond 480 by 10-15, then my profits on my long side are capped. So that's the only thing. But I always do this because it gives me an entry with a lower capital than going straight up with calls or puts. Same with Lulu. Went with the 460 January. This is the 475 January. Um, Uber 50C for January. So these are, as you can see, these are all 3 months out. So on the call side, go at least 3 months out. And Adobe and FedEx, these are like 2 months out, right? So or 1.5, 2 months out. So put side never goes stays down for long. So just see if it goes down and then come out of it. Not planning for a huge profit on these ones. I keep that for in case the market decides to go down. And these are all on the sell side of it. So those are my positions as of now. So let's calculate the profit and loss next time. But I think overall this still looks uh, at a higher side in here. Not know where is it standing? Yeah. All right. So for the week, I think it is week one. All right. Week one is around 93 plus side on the new positions that I have gotten to. That's it for this week. Let's talk next week.